So that's a handful of changes for the team to play Newcastle this week, but unchanged front row from the last two games, but a slightly different challenge in the pack from Newcastle than it was to Wasps and Tigers.
Yes, yeah, a little bit different. They've still gone pretty well as a pack. But yeah, the changes are great changes for us. We've got some players coming back now being available, so people like Miles, Sam, Josh Bayliss. So it's great to be able to have those guys to come back to be able to select from. But yeah, we felt the front row warranted keeping the same, and we're in that position now where we can start to bring other players through.
Of course, one notable loss this week is Josh McNally, but we do have Mike Williams back to partner Ewan Richards in the second row.
Yeah, so we've lost Macca. That'll be for a while, which is a real blow for him and for us because, apart from being captain, he's playing unbelievably well. But Will Spencer's back. We got Josh back. Ewan had a small bout of tonsillitis, so he's back as well. So we've got all three second rows back, which is very handy. And Chippy did a great job there. Rich de Carpentier did a real good job last week for us. So yeah, it's good to have those guys back.
And moving into the back row, we've already got Miles Reid back, but Josh Bayer's back from Scotland, but Nathan Hughes remains at number 8. It's quite a good back row we got going on this week.
Yeah, look, I think it's when you look at the players that are available now, and touch wood that we keep those guys available. It's a real area of strength for us now. We've got Yaku Kutsia, who's been really good for us the last few weeks. Yaku misses out this week, but to have somebody like Sam, Josh Bayliss, Miles Reid, to come back in with what Nathan's been doing. Next weekend we get Toby back as well. So it'll be a great problem to have next week. Picking players to fill 6, 7, and 8.
And then moving into the backs, obviously Ben Spencer remains at 9, but Danny Cipriani comes back in at 10, having come off the bench last weekend.
Yes, we give Sips an opportunity at 10. Orlando's still just not 100% with his hamstring, so he's a young man who's played a lot of rugby for us. We don't want to push him, but we feel that what Danny's done in training, he warrants an opportunity. I think what we saw last week, is 15, 60 minutes. It's probably only his second game in about 8, 10 weeks. In fact, the last time he played was Northampton away. So, he's going to take some time. There's a little bit of rustiness there, but he's got enough experience. He's a good enough player. That means that we can give him this opportunity. And I think as well, having people like JJ come off the bench, Jay will come on in time of the game where he can be really helpful to Danny as well.
You mentioned JJ there, but that's obviously he's moved to the bench this weekend to allow Clarkey to come on into the midfield. But he'll partner Max Joma this week. What does that partnership bring to the team? Yeah,
look, I think Jay's been really good for us. He's played a lot of rugby for us over the last probably 3 or 4 months. You saw those little highlight moments that he's got, the chip through for Oja's try, and to 1 or 2 of his passes just sensational. But Clarkey again's been training well. We can't keep banging out the same players. So Clarkey's worked hard in training, and again he's earned an opportunity to start. So we give him the opportunity this week. He brings a real directness to the game, good defender, and he carries the ball exceptionally well. So a little bit different to Jay, but different in a good way.
Back 3 is also unchanged this weekend, but Will Butt, notable mention, he played really well last week against Tigers.
Yeah, Buddy's been great for us. He's obviously a 12 who had a few niggles the last sort of probably 18 months, 2 years with injuries. He's put himself in a position now where he's got his body right, and he's been great. He works so hard on the kicks. He's physical. You saw him, chopping the Dolu, getting steals on the weekend, and he's a real carry threat for us. So we're really pleased with the way that he's gone. And obviously we've got Joe back literally since the pre-season Cardiff game. So, it's great to have Joe back. He's looked really good in training. We've just got to start to build more game minutes into him now and to get more out of him, from training. But it's brilliant to have him back as an option.
You've highlighted a couple of other players that's coming back off the bench, Lewis Boyce, Will Spencer, Joe, Sam Underhill, but we also got Marfia making his debut as well, potentially off the bench.
Yeah, he's obviously come in. He came in from Ospreys last week, a week just to get known as systems. We thought Kieran Verdon did warranted enough to keep his place for Tigers. Marfi's had a real good week. Our big set piece day Tuesday, he's had a good session there, and we feel that from an experience point of view, he warrants selection there. So we're pleased with what Verdo's done for us off the bench. But this is an opportunity now to give Marfu a chance to see what he can do.
Perfect. Cheers, Hats.
Thank you. No problem.